Somewhere in that period, in the gap between what he had wanted to create and what the industry was allowing him to be, something in his approach began to change. He had started with beautiful as his goal, but beauty requires an audience. Beauty requires being seen. What happens to an artist who trains for years, but is relegated to the background while his body's work is seen as someone else's? Sometimes, I think, it creates something that is in one sense less beautiful and more hungry. It creates a form of skill raring to be unleashed. The film that would finally let him step into the frame was 2003's Ong Bak. It took years of arguments with producers who didn't believe in it. The budget, when it finally came, was $1 million. And what it released onto the screen was not the beauty the child in Syrian province had been reaching for. It was the beast that had grown as he waited for an opportunity to show it.
Back Muay Thai!
The response to Ong Bak was immediate and nearly unanimous. Something had changed in the movies. The movie's plot is simple. A young man travels to Bangkok to recover a stolen Buddha head and finds himself fighting a crime syndicate. The plot is not the point. The point is what happens when Tony Jaa gets the frame, and why it looks unlike anything that came before it. Kung Fu cinema had its own grammar, a punch-and-pose rhythm inherited from Peking opera, where both fighters moved in a kind of choreographic conversation. That rhythm made long exchanges possible. Bruce Lee refined that grammar to its sharpest possible expression. Jackie Chan inverted it into comedy, but both were, in their different ways, working within it. Muay Boran, the martial art Jaa trained in, has no interest in engaging in a conversation. It was never designed for an audience. It was designed to end encounters using every part of the body. Fists, elbows, knees, and shins. When Jaa executes a technique in Ong Bak, you are not watching a choreographic exchange. You are watching a man attempt to finish something. Every hit, every technique, feels like it's meant to kill his opponent. This was, if you understand where it came from, entirely logical. A man who had spent years perfecting a physical art form without ever being allowed to show it. Someone who had trained to create beauty and been handed anonymity instead would never have developed the cool precision of someone who knew they were being watched their entire career. He had developed something closer to hunger. What came out of him when the camera finally pointed his way was not a performance of violence. It was the unbridled rage of a frontman who had been trapped in the role of a background artist for over a decade.